How's it going? It's a beautiful night to just doing a little bit of refinish work. Trying to do something a little bit more start to finish. So this is very small, but at least it's a start, especially going start to finish. Get this kind of all put together. It's a beautiful night out, so can't complain at all. Yeah, the pesky slotted screws here. How's it going? So far, taking off the top, removed the legs. Gonna start sanding this down with the Rotex. I got a small repair I'm gonna have to do with some tight bond. I saved the piece, so it'll be easy to glue in there. And so stay tuned. I'm gonna be doing a little bit of sanding. The best thing about the Rotex is we can actually lower the speed a little bit, so it's not going to tear up the wood too much, because this is very old. How's it going? Just kind of doing the Rotex. How's it going? seen some better days anyways. A lot of water damage. I used to have a veneer on the top, but it peeled off. So I'm just going to sand this back all the way down to raw wood. There's some glue marks, some water damage. Get the underneath cleaned up again and get it looking brand new. Brand new, quote unquote. So I'm going to quickly share this to the Bearded Viking Woodworks group, and maybe we'll get a few people to stop in, which that would be really neat. So 1 second. I was hoping to be able to see chat here. How's it going? I'm just quickly sharing this to some of the Facebook groups, so hopefully get a few more people in here. I hope you're having a wonderful night. Kind of an old man here trying to use a cell phone to paste this link really quick, so 1 second. What are you guys working on today? Welcome, welcome. I'm just getting really started. Got it taken apart, so now just doing a quick sand. So I'm gonna see, one time this had veneer on it, so I'm gonna be just getting it back to raw wood, get some of these joints cleaned up. Definitely got a lot of like water damage, and I'm assuming that's the reason what caused it. It's a nice little plant stand. I just want to bring it back to life. That way we can still use it. Kind of clean up some of these glue marks here. Looks like at one time it might have been stapled or something too. It's very old. It was Rachel's grandfather's, so, or maybe even her grandmother, but we just want to get this cleaned up. Let me get this link posted real quick. All right, cool. I got that posted, so I don't know if they've changed chat options lately, but now I actually can't see any of the chat logs, so it's a little different. But please share with your friends and family, especially if they're looking to refinish a plant stand or any type of furniture. This way it's kind of cheating, you know, using a heavy duty sander. It's almost like a belt sander. It's gonna make quick work of this. Then you just work up in grits so you're not doing a whole bunch of swirls on the finish. But to me, it's a lot simpler and easier than trying to waste a whole bunch of time with a stripper. silky smooth here. As you can see, there's still a little bit of veneer right there, but I try to use a little bit more muscle to get that to pop off. One thing you have to be really careful with is pushing too much pressure though. Then you're going to start putting divots into your flat piece of wood. So just be careful with that. But sometimes you have to do a little oomph behind how you're holding it. One nice thing is when you're working on something delicate like this, you can lower the speed or you can turn it up. What's up? How's it going? Going. How's it going? How's everyone doing? Sometimes the problem with the timber oil is they really can't get some of those mildew stains or watermarks and things like that because it's really penetrated into the wood. But it gives it some character too. Just apply it liberally. But it looks really nice. And as it dries and you reapply a few more layers, it's going to darken up just a hair. The best thing is, worst case scenario, we just darken it up. I kind of like this, it's a little bit lighter than more of your darker stains. And this actually has a little bit of a red hue to it. It's called a mahogany flame. I don't know if you guys checked out one of the benches I did a little bit ago. But that's the stand I used on the Doug fir, and it turned out really, really nice. I'm definitely grateful for a cool night. Looks like possible chance of rain later on, but nice overcast, nice cool breeze. Can't complain. I've been playing with the idea of doing a start to finish project, doing the live stream, so wanted to start with something small. Yeah. But even this being small, it's still going to probably take about an hour. So what do we get? Yeah, we're at 32 minutes. Then maybe from this live stream, I'll download it, maybe do some edits, then a voiceover over the top of it, maybe add some music and sound effects or something. Kind of shorten it up a little bit. But even if I could compress it into like 10 minutes, start to finish, that'd be pretty nice. And hopefully, some people tune in, maybe subscribe to the channel, share it with people. And hopefully you get a little inspired to do something around the house. Especially if you have, old coffee table just taking up space, falling apart, where you can just reinforce it, maybe put a new top on the top. Give it some new life. I'm really liking that color. I don't know how well you can see it, but Kind of a little disappointed with this top though. So like I said, it must have had a veneer top on it that got water damage. So I may put, I have a few walnut rounds left over from the wedding. Might throw one of those on top of the plant stand. But I don't know. I kind of like that though. Who knows? Maybe I'll even hit it with the torch a little bit because I'm really liking some of this darkness here. So that could be a possibility. And that's the best thing about, doing some refinish work is you really never know if it's going to turn out how you envision it. But I'm going to definitely make sure to add a few layers to here. Try to darken it up a little bit. As you can tell, there's a little bit of unevenness too, right here. If I was doing a large area, I'd be wearing gloves, but it's kind of minimal. I'm gonna try to get this assembled. I'll add a little bit of Type Bond to it. I was hoping to have some Boss Dog glue with me, but that's in Peru. So just kind of utilizing what I have. Nothing wrong with Type Bond either, so. And you gotta stay hydrated too, so. And if you have any squeeze out, make sure to wipe it up. Because it's never fun when you're dealing with like some dried glue. I think it goes about like that. Then I'll obviously try to remember the orientation of when you're reassembling it, but I think we can figure it out. Doesn't really feel like it's sticking in there too well, but I think it's good to beef up, especially when we put the square piece in here. Yeah, it's starting to feel a lot better. This. Try to start some of these screws. see that. Maybe it'll focus. So good old trusted, slotted screws here. But that's pretty cool. So. And I don't know if you guys were here earlier, but I told you I'm gonna have to repair right here, which is no big deal. But the main thing is, if you ever have like a blowout like that, just try to find the piece that flew out. So. Having these installed will definitely help make it a little bit more rigid. So that should help. I say this and it'll probably collapse. Too bad I didn't have any little small like Torx or something I could just put in here. That'd be kind of cheating, you're trying to restore this a little bit. So you want to use the original hardware best you can. And since this little piece is very, very small, I'm going to turn down the speed a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfect, but kind of figure out the orientation, where it needs to go. Hit it with a little bit of the oil. If I had a little bit of CI glue, that would definitely help out too with a small piece like this, but it should be okay. Just try to clean up that squeeze out best you can. Kind of do a once over on screws, make sure they're still kind of tight in there. This thing is a little wobbly, so it's definitely a lot better than what it was. I really like the color, so. As you see right there, see all that squeeze out? We'll be cleaning that up. That's kind of handy when you have a straw, and you can just get in the crevice there and get it cleaned up. Cool. I don't know if you can see it, but I like it. Now that it's reassembled, we'll just do a few more coats of oil on top. If we need to, we can darken it up. It's awesome to see it back together, you know, start going from start to finish. Legs are still a little wobbly, so we'll tighten those back up again, just to be sure. Oh yeah, that definitely helped out a lot. Oh, that looks cool. Really like how it turned out. How's it going, guys? This has a mahogany flame stain on it, oil. So it'll darken up a little bit. The light doesn't really do justice out here, but yeah, I'm definitely happy with how it turned out. I appreciate you guys being here. It was almost an hour to start to finish, so that wasn't terrible. Obviously, if I wasn't filming and things like that, it'd go a lot faster, but I've been enjoying live streaming, so. But I'll have this posted, then more than likely I'll download it, do a voiceover, and kind of condense it a little bit more than this whole process. But thanks, guys, and have a great night.